righty, we're back.
It's episode 3.
Episode 3.
Hook, line, and sinker. We're going to talk about Pennsylvania trout season and why we love it so much more than, and well, that's a stupid way to say it because I don't love it more than anything else.
Right. I mean, it's an equal.
Yeah. It is an equal.
It's like apples and oranges. You can't compare them.
Yeah, you can't.
Because in deer season, if I shoot a deer 1 minute after 7, my season's done.
You're done.
Yeah.
If I rip a lip at 1 minute after 8, buddy, that bugger's going back in.
Keep ripping them.
Or later, put a pin in that. We take it back to trout camp.
Yeah.
Swap.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Talk about that. But, so, apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Trout fishing.
Trout fishing.
So, we know you're a big flyer fisherman.
Yeah.
All right. Do you still do some bait casting?
You know, I hadn't for years and years and years, and then just last year, because my kids got into it, right? So they're not fly fishing yet. They both have interest, and we're going to work on that this year. But yeah, so I use the what's that? It looks like Play-Doh. What's that stuff?
Power bait.
Power bait.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we used power bait last year. My kids were slaying fish. So
that might be
Joe,
a sponsor opportunity.
Yeah.
oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Trust me, we should because we went through canisters of that stuff last year. But so both my kids caught their first trout last year on power bait with a spinning reel. Yeah, just chucking power bait on a size 10 hook and using bobbers and they were ripping lips out and ripping trout into the shore and it was great. So like I think the thing that I love so much more about trout season than deer season is that, you know, deer season I'm always so focused on having goals. And there's none of that in trout season. It's just I just want to go and have fun. So and the other thing, and we talked about it earlier, you know, when you're sitting in a tree stand, if the three of us were in some mega tree stand hunting right now, we wouldn't be talking, we wouldn't be joking, we'd be having fun, but it'd be a different kind of fun. You're not really interacting. And you're not on the side of a trout stream or on a pond. Man, you're joking.
I can yell over, "Hey, Teddy!"
Yeah, you throw rocks at each other, do whatever you want to do.
Anything.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no like expectation or level of real seriousness when it comes to trout season, at least not for me. And it's like it's more about the people that I'm spending time with than it is the trout.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I
it's
do
just
like
so
to spend
different.
a lot of time with trout, though.
Well,
It kind of makes the fishing more fun.
It does. But you know, like if you go to deer camp and the hunting is terrible, and you come back home, what's one of the things you're going to say? Like, oh man, it was
I need a beer.
I need a beer. It was tough hunting. The weather was bad.
Yeah.
But if you go to trout camp and the fishing's bad, you're going to come home and say, "Man, camp was so much fun."
Yeah.
We had also, you know, if the weather's bad, you just spend more time in camp, and it seems like there's just less of a level of that expectation of having to get out there and having to get after it and be real serious.
Right. Well, and for me, it's you know, if I'm fishing, it's not about putting meat in my freezer either.
That's a great
You know?
point. Yeah.
You know, and so there's a different level of you know, feeding the family or whatever.
Yep.
Not that I absolutely need, you know, a deer to feed my family, but I prefer it.
Right.
I would much prefer to eat venison all year than
absolutely.
beef.
Well, I think trout season's cool too because you go out and let's say you catch your limit. Nobody asks you what it scored.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They go, holy crap, you caught your limit. Good
Did
for
you
you.
age that trout?
Yeah,
How old is that?
So it's just
You should have thrown that one back.
Should have let it go another year.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Another
sheds
year.
from it?
So like that is cool.
I think I saw its tail last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a trail cam picture of that one.
Wouldn't that be something?
We should invent that.
We should get trail cam pictures of trout.
Oh my goodness.
There's a new goal for the Wild Connection next year. We're going to have trail cam pictures for trout.
Yes.
Which brings me to a fun point. 2 hunting seasons ago, I'm in the back corner of a game lands, and I'm on my way to go hunt. And it's dark. I'm a headlamp on. I go to cross this little creek, and I see all these little fish scatter. And so actually I have pictures, Joe, because he's our editor. He'll throw these on here.
Use that term lightly.
Yeah. I have pictures in my phone and videos of the native brook trout in this little ditch. It's literally a ditch. And so they talk about a red, and a red is where trout will come in and they nest and they breed, and that's like their breeding area. You can see the red where it's all the silt's been pushed aside, and it's just gravel, and there was 2 brookies just chilling right in the middle. And I've got it all And,
That's awesome.
and Joe will throw it up there on this finished copy here. But it was just that was beautiful. And I think so. I just want to throw this in here. Pennsylvania, I think the Fish Commission and now subsequently the Game Commission does a great job with giving us opportunities to fish trout in the state of Pennsylvania. I think. Now, I don't know this because I haven't fished every county in the state, but I have fished most of them. I would be willing to bet that you can catch trout in every single county. Do you know how many counties are in the state of Pennsylvania?
67.
67? I'd be willing to bet that you can catch trout in all 67 counties.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic job. If you look back to the history of our water table in Pennsylvania, it was destroyed in a great part of the state. And the fact that I can go in Clearfield County and I can hike into state game lands to an unnamed body of water. It's just a ditch. It doesn't even have a name. And on the way to an archer stand and see reproducing native brook trout.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real mark of what we've done as conservationists on a state level,
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
The
So,
Game Commission does an amazing job on stalking, restock. Like,
yeah,
I
agreed.
know, like youth kids can get out and help them stalk. That's
Yeah.
That was something big whenever I was in school.
Oh,
You could
when it's a
take the day
kid
off
going out and
go
help
out.
following the stocking
Oh.
truck and chucking buckets of trout, man.
back
no,
in the-
I
those
still
days,
enjoy doing it.
They used to take a 5-gallon bucket and they'd walk a mile down the
Yeah.
creek to a little hole in the wall. They just throw it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot cooler back then. I don't know how far they stalk. They probably still do the same stock, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a bit of it.
As far
Yeah.
as I know, and I fish. So we had kind of talked about it earlier. I'm a pretty avid trout fisherman, and so I fish in some really hard to reach places, and I catch trout in the vast majority of these spots. So, to your point, I think they're chucking trout.
So are you
Everywhere.
mostly seeing like natives out there? Do you think, or do you think it's stock that are making a run, making
A lot
living?
of both.
Yeah.
A lot of both.
Yeah.
Where I'm seeing. So there's certain creeks. There's a couple bodies of water outside of the town of Brookville that you'll catch stockies, but from their coloring and from the health of their fins that they've been in that water. They're holdovers. They've been there for quite some time. And then you can head over towards State College and you'll catch wild rainbow and wild browns. So Joe will throw a picture up here. This was the first wild brown trout I ever caught.
God.
That's where the picture goes.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
and then,
I feel like he's giving me a lot of
Yeah.
work.
I'll help you.
We went from episode 1 to I don't even know if I can do this to episode 3. It's like
Yeah.
10,000 pictures.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
Joe's the man.
That should be by default or by accident.
I'll
I think.
help ya.
I guess let us know if it worked. Might be a huge letdown right there.
Yeah. Oh no! Now
Yeah.
Teddy threw it out there. It's a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna get done now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, episode 2 has some like video in it.
oh, really?
Yeah. So
I can't wait to
so
see
you know, like play the audio or pull the audio out. It's us talking, but it's video.
So, as a quick interjection, Joe has done really all of our editing so far.
Yeah.
And we are appreciative, and I'm just going to keep throwing more on him. But we do want to work it at getting our studio set up even more to where we can get together, and instead of just getting together to record, we can get together to edit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then Joe can't whine about having to do it all.
And then the
himself.
other part of that is we're gonna work on cutting these. We're gonna work on cutting these down because I'm tired of listening to you guys for an hour and a half at a time.
I'm tired of listening to myself.
Wait until we get to the point where we have people calling in,
Oh,
and then you have to edit all that. That'll.
At the end of episode 1, my ears were sweating.
Mine
They were
hurt,
hot. I don't think your ears can sweat, but mine were sweating for these things. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Well, I guess to keep us on track. Right?
Yeah, because we're terrible at that.
So let's start with you. I know you have your whole family goes up to camp and goes
Yeah.
to trout season. So why don't you give us a little
Yeah.
maybe a
So
background on that?
yeah. So we're all pretty avid trout fishermen.
So
in
does
my,
your
in
dad
my-
fish?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, he fishes more now. Well, actually, not right now. But he's 76, I think, 76 or 77. But he just had a shoulder repaired, so he's kind of down and out for fishing right now. But yeah, he's been a trout fisherman his whole life. So I was the one in the family that got into fly fishing, but right away my brothers got into it too. And we have a cabin up north of Cook Forest, so the bulk of our trout fishing now is done in Forest and Clarion County because it's kind of real close to that border between the two counties. And there's a ton of small trout streams up there. So, like, we'll go up to trout camp, and it's a blast. And like I said earlier, it's really not about the trout. It's about some of the traditions we do at trout camp. So we'll just run through them here, just bang them out. The first person to catch a trout on the day 1 gets to we bring a couple trout home to cook, and then back at camp we get to if you caught the first trout, you get to slap the other fisherman with the trout.
Like all of them?
Well, it's really just turned into me slapping my nephews with trout. So I mean, it's kind of devolved.
Well, one of which won't be there this year.
Actually, neither of them will be there this year. No, my nephew Finn is now working on getting his guide license in Alaska. At the Rainy Pass Hunting Lodge, and my other nephew Mitchell, who's turned out, I mean, he's been one of my best hunting buddies and fishing buddies since he could walk, really. Yeah. He's in Army boot camp right now, so
delayed slap.
Yeah, delayed slap coming his way. But I might actually let it go this year. Just he's carrying on this really strong Clark male military tradition. You know, my grandfathers both served. Both of his grandfathers served. All of his uncles have served. It's like all able-bodied men in my family, really. I mean, going back generations have served in the military. Now Mitchell's carrying that torch. So really proud of him and excited for. So I might even let the trout slap forego this year. Give him a year off.
He needs it.
He needs it. He does need it. Yeah. So,
given that Jesse and I know him pretty well from the fire department. So even before going to the military, he started that service to his community early. Volunteering as a junior. Started as a junior firefighter, and has benefited our community, and now he's going bigger and better. And
so I'm real proud of Mitch for that. But so that was one of the traditions there at trout camp, and then of course we fish and we cook whatever wild game we have left over from the hunting seasons prior, and then we have a range built in the backyard. And so the second tradition at trout camp is we shoot a lot. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of fun shooting.
More video opportunity there.
More video opportunity.
Yeah.
So then the last tradition is kind of just a tradition on my part, and it's why there is a stormtrooper helmet here. So every year at trout season, I'm a Star Wars nerd.
I'll admit it. Have lights?
No.
It looks like a light.
It should, right?
Yeah. You can fish in the dark.
But I fly fish every year. I'll go to the creek for a particular amount of time, and I'll fish wearing a Star Wars helmet. And so the first time I did it wearing this, I now know why in the movies the stormtroopers never hit anything. It's because you can't see anything with this thing on you. And so, but I have a Darth Vader helmet as well. So like I kept saying that I was going to get a new Star Wars helmet every season, right, for trout camp. But then they're expensive, so I haven't kept up with that. And then I'll also go to the range, and I shoot wearing. A Star Wars helmet.
I'm very glad you explained to our viewers, both of them,
why.
Both
of them.
My mom and dad listened, so I don't know that they watched, but they listened.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have that background because the video clips.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
More work for Joe.
Work for Joe.
Yeah.
But now you know why I'm shooting.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. Yeah. So it ties it all in. So. Right. Those are kind of my traditions when it comes to trout season. And then, the Pennsylvania trout season, of course, I go a little bit further on my own where I really get into chasing native brook trout in some faraway places. But that doesn't necessarily fall in line with what we're talking about right here, which is the trout opener.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, for me, it's just about really the camaraderie of being around all the guys and girls that are up at our trout camp. So
it's the wild connection, baby.
It's the wild connection, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Full circle.
So what about you?
Yeah, so I mean, I fished quite a bit whenever I was in my teens. Started about 12, maybe 13 years old. We started going together as a family. Just friends, family, cousins, stuff like that. All we ever did was we did small streams.
That was way better that time.
Yeah. We'll see how it ends.
No, his headset for life.
He has problems drinking out of this cup, everybody. So small streams, stuff like that. Never really been on a boat like on Lake Erie or anywhere, We were actually talking about that just a little bit ago, maybe planning a trip.
Yes, because walleye are delicious.
I'm very self-conscious about playing with my microphone in front of Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse's is like
I hate that we're so close.
Jesse's is like straight out.
Well, I don't want to scream in it. So I mean, I did some small streams and stuff like that. Everything we fished it was all Jefferson and Clearfield County. So you know, how they.
Did you hit all like the opening day? Was it a big thing for you and your family, or was it like
It was for quite a few years. You know, my cousins would all get together and we would go out, and it was, we just drove around. Honestly, it was more about hanging out together, and we got lunch, and then we went back out. And it wasn't anything about catching fish. Because most of us really didn't keep any. Yeah. Nobody really liked to eat trout at the time. So
I'll tell you what. When I went fishing with my grandpa when I was young, I caught a lot of branches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean I don't remember so much going fishing with my dad's dad, but I know he was an avid fisherman, and they used to do a lot of fishing when we were young, and I went before, but he passed when I was very young, but just my mom's dad, again, the one that we go hunting out west with and stuff, just the opening day.
Yeah.
Even through college, I came home for the opening day.
Yeah.
So it was a nice tradition. Somewhere right after college, we kind of got away from it, but of course, my dad would also be there, and it was a family thing that, and I might not fish the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of those years.
That was me.
But man, we hit that
was,
first day.
Yeah.
And whenever I was younger, you guys are both from the area, and a lot of our viewers are. So, have you guys ever heard of Five Ponds?
Oh yeah.
So, that was the place we went to once the season got started. And you're into it a little bit. You can go over there, and that's where I learned to fly fish and stuff like that.
My one buddy introduced me to ice fishing at Five Ponds.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, it was cool.
I used to ice fish Cow Lake, not for trout, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Five Ponds was good. And then, Teddy, when we were in high school, a lot of our buddies went to like Cinemahoning. Once we got driver's license, man, we would go. You just disappear for the weekend to Cinemahoning.
So I when I started fly fishing, I was a young adult. I was maybe 20 years old, something like that, and a bunch of guys that we went to high school with would it really got me into it, into fly fishing. Now I had been trout fishing my whole life, but we would go to Cinemahoning, and we knew a couple guys who had a camp up there. It was just a camper parked in the field with a bunch of other campers, But we would go up there for as long as however many days we could get out of work and get away from our wives and girlfriends at that time, and we would go up there. The camp life was as rowdy as you could imagine,
But you're in Cinemahoning.
But
you're not hurting anything.
You're not hurting anything up there. No.
Yeah.
And the fishing it's first class. It's beautiful up there. It's as mountainous as Pennsylvania can get,
Right.
But yeah, we had some. Oh my God, we had some great memories up there.
I'll tell you, the last time I went to fishing camp, I went with a few buddies, and this was probably 10 years ago now. We went to Potter County.
Yeah.
We didn't even go fishing. We didn't even see water. So, but I had one of the best weekends.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday trip, and we just got away, and I said, a lot of campfires and stuff like that, and just hanging out with friends.
And that's what I love about trout season. Again, to circle back to that, if you were to go up there on a hunting trip and you said, we never even saw the woods, you would have a smile on your face saying that. You'd say, man, we went on a hunting trip, we never even got to see the woods. The weather was wrong, or we got sidetracked on, like Joe and I, we go on side missions, right? We'd go down a rabbit hole, one too many times, and then the time to hunt was over, and you'd be bummed. But like you go there and you're like, it was a great weekend of trout season, and I never even casted a rod. I never even saw water.
Yeah.
But it was such a great weekend. I think that's really the beauty of the Pennsylvania trout openers, because you talk to so many guys who go to the Pennsylvania trout season, and they all kind of say the same thing. It's never about how great the fishery is, although it's not bad, but it's never about that. It's just about that camaraderie and about that camaraderie between outdoorsmen and women in Mother Nature. You're outside, you're in the wild, but you're not necessarily fishing. It's not about the trout.
Yeah, how about can we just talk about, over the years, the first day of trout season
is
weather.
Always wet and always cold. It's awful.
Always awful.
It's always awful.
It could be the middle of April. There's a strong possibility of a snowstorm.
Yep.
Followed by 75 degrees, humid as all get out, with all kinds of bugs.
Yep.
And the water being like 3 foot out of the banks.
In my opinion, it's always super wet and cold, and the water's always blown out. And as a fly fisherman, I guess any trout fisherman, but it's especially, I guess I'm just thinking back to fly fish. High, fast water is tough to fish.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Pennsylvania Trout Opener, by and large, the creeks are all blown out. Now again, I mean, we had this outline of things that I wanted to kind of ask you guys, and so I'm going to get back to that outline because I realized we took a hard left.
At least we're still talking about trout.
That's great. We're improving.
Yeah,
we're improving.
And if you're still with us, we appreciate it.
Yeah. But when I was younger, we fished the Tannery Dam. We fished lakes, 5 ponds, rivers. And now as I've gotten older, and now we're fishing more like the Clarion, Forest County line area. It's all just a bunch of small streams. I mean, there's Clarion River up there, but we don't really trout fish that. And a lot of those smaller streams, if they get blown out, they're almost unfishable. But again, we just don't care.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. Yeah. If it's too cold and terrible to be out there fishing, we just go back to camp.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
So I guess on the trout topic, you guys both have children.
Yeah.
So do is your kids involved with that now? Like I know you go to camp, so do you take your kids up there?
Well, my kids don't go to trout camp.
Okay.
It's a little too rowdy for my kids, but I do have like a kid-friendly trout camp then, a couple weeks later. Yeah. And actually this year will be the first year I plan on bringing some of my kids' friends and their dads up with me. And we're going to have like a big group of kids.
Cool.
Tom's Run is a creek that dumps into the Clarion right at Cook Forest, right at the big bridge there.
Okay.
Tom's Run has a fantastic youth fishing area where they've kind of dammed up the creek a little bit, and they just throw a bunch of slabs in there. I mean, and these kids, you have to be a kid to fish there.
That's great.
And so like last year, my kids both caught their first trout.
Picture opportunity. Yeah.
And they were throwing spinning reels with power bait, on there, and just hammering fish. So now they both have showed interest in fly fishing. We're gonna try to tackle that this year. At least introduce them to it this year. Of course, my daughter she's a real dedicated outdoors woman, I guess would be the way to say that. And she's always up for the challenge. So when I told her that, she was like, I'm in, Dad. I want to learn to fly fish. And I'm thinking, girl, you just caught your first trout last year. And she's already ready to start tying flies and start. And I love it. So, I'm going to get her introduced to it at least this year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What about you? Because your girl's about my daughter's age.
My daughter has fished. We fish out at our sportsman's club.
Okay.
Catching bass and bluegill and stuff. Yeah. They have a youth fishing day that's a lot of fun.
Love that.
And she does enjoy the fishing, but we don't go trout fishing.
Yeah.
My son loved to trout fish when he was younger. Still does some now. And again, with a lot of things throughout life, you kind of transition from his grandpa was a big trout fisherman, so he went with his grandpa. And then he kind of transitioned once he could, had to provide his own mode of transportation. Then you go with your buddies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of what happens.
Yep.
It's a natural progression.
Well, and that's why I feel so lucky and blessed that we have this camp because, like we talked about Mitchell.
Right.
You got 3 generations at camp.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And so Mitch would go and fish with his buddies, but like when we went to camp to trout season, that was my opportunity to fish with Mitch and my other nephew Finn. Yeah. Because they both had modes of transportation. They wanted to go fish with their friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like if you're going specifically to an area like a camp to fish for a weekend, they're still going to come up. And sometimes they brought some buddies and stuff. But it was. I feel really really blessed that we have that space for us to use, and it's kind of kept us all kind of together.
Yeah, you need that. You need that rallying point to keep that tradition just.
It's almost like a tether.
Yeah,
it kind of keeps you all together.
Yeah, and that's where I think my family would still be doing that same thing if we had that same opportunity also.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure if we didn't have that, my fly fishing with my nephews maybe still would have happened just because it's so important to us, but nowhere near as much as it had.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the camp kind of holds you together. So,
absolutely, absolutely. So, I think no matter, if I were to tell anybody any tips or tricks or anything for trout fish in Pennsylvania, it would simply be get out there and do it. Look at what your just enjoy it. But look at what your level of knowledge is, and even if you've never fished before, go to Walmart, get a can of the neon green. In the fishing world, they call that chartreuse. But get neon green power bait and a size 10 eagle claw hook, and a Shakespeare ultralight spinning reel, and you can look up on a Game and Fish Commission's webpage where the stocking schedule,
they tell you where
and
they're going.
go
like
where they
fish.
stock, and and you'll catch fish. I mean, it really is really all about going there with your own level of knowledge and what you're comfortable doing, and just get out there. And even if you don't catch fish, you're locked up inside all winter long, right? Like hunting season's over for us outdoorsmen and women. Hunting season's over, so like January, February, March even. It's just like this year I got cabin fever, and my idea of going out this winter was going and taking fresh water to my chickens in negative 20-degree weather. I mean, there's no enjoyment to be had there, You leave for work, it's dark. You get home from work, it's already dark, And then like trout season comes and it's.
And this year was brutally cold.
This was a brutal winter.
Yeah.
So trout season comes and it's like this is our first opportunity to really get out there and enjoy the outdoors. So even if you don't know how to fish, buy the trout stamp, get out there, get after it, and at least enjoy it for what it is.
And whenever I was younger, I used to use trout season as a way to scout for turkeys.
Oh, yeah.
Like I used to go to game lands and
stuff
like that, and I'd walk down the side of a creek, and I'd be like,
that's a great idea.
I'm hearing turkeys, or I'd be looking for sheds, or I mean, because you're just. Most of the time you're just hanging out looking for a hole and like, is anything in here,
Yeah.
So I always use it as an opportunity to scout.
Yeah. Oh, I'd never even thought of that before. I used to go up to camp before my kids really fished and before we hosted a big trout weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'd go up there and have my own little personal blast and cast weekends, I'd call them. And I'd carry I have a little 6-foot ultralight 0-weight fly rod that packs into this little tube about that big. I throw it in my pack with a turkey decoy and a shotgun, and I'd go out. Yep. Try and find some birds on the roost. And when that was over and the hustle and bustle of turkey hunting was over at 9 or 10 in the morning, I'd go down into the valley and fish some of it. Yeah. So, so just get out there and just enjoy it, And if you want to learn more about fly fishing in Pennsylvania, I would like to do an episode on that specifically. Yeah. But we'll do that later. But I'd love to talk more about that.
I think a great way to get started, whenever I was a kid at least, and I think they still do it, like Renlo Park is a great example.
Yeah, out in Roundsville.
I mean, they have rodeos, like you were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's 13 and under for most of the time, or a certain age. You go out there, and I remember kids throwing out bare hooks almost and catching fish.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it's a great opportunity to take your kids,
get
them in, get them going. You can win prizes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, you used to be able to, if you caught a fish that was 15 inches, you go over and they give you a prize.
Like, now they'll put little tags in them, and you catch fish a little tag, and it has a number 7 on it, and you take that tag in, and then number 7's a bike or a cooler or whatever. Yeah, the kids can win.
And there's tons of those. And
there's so many fishing rodeos.
I'm sure you can look online and find one.
Yeah,
that'd be a great way to get somebody started.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't want to have to hike down a trail or go down a creek and find a spot.
Yep.
Or every fish is a fillet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's hungry tonight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about food a lot.
Haven't ate dinner yet?
I do love eating trout, and there's another thing like.
My wife gets mad if like her father is a big fisherman. Like he goes to camp, he fishes, and if he doesn't keep a couple trout, like she's mad at him.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to cook them, and I think my most favorite way is probably the most simple way. Cut the head, cut the tail, of course, clean it out on the inside, leave the skin on it. Spoon scale. If you're familiar with what that is, you just take a spoon or a butter knife and just kind of drag it across the grain, get some of those scales off. I score the skin then a little bit. Put salt, pepper, butter, maybe a little bit of garlic, just really whatever I have for spicing, you know. And I just butter fry them.
Yeah.
And then I'll start them skin side down. And then I really do struggle with this thing.
Just in the way.
Oh, my God. Skin side down for a couple minutes, then flesh side down. And then I go back to skin side the second time just to get that skin crispy. Yeah. You know, and then you just kind of pull the meat off the bone. So trout bones are like hairs, you know. And so guys have so many different techniques that they say get the bones out. You're never getting all the bones out of a trout. Right. It's finger food, you know.
Barbarian that thing.
Yeah, right.
Pick it apart.
But just literally throw in a pan and fry the thing in butter. I mean, it's great.
That's what whenever I was out fishing, I was probably in high school at the time with a couple buddies, and they showed me a way to do it, and they actually got it and everything, and then you just snap the head back and you can peel it like a sock.
No kidding.
And then you cook it.
I've done that before.
And then you can just take a fork and you peel it. And it's kind of funny. Whenever you're done eating it, it looks like a cartoon almost. Yeah. Like the skeleton
with the
of
bone?
a fish. Yeah.
No
and
kidding.
I mean, they just pull right off. You can just take a fork and go right at the top.
I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting way to cook them.
Sometimes you just gut them and put a little butter and maybe some lemon
or
something
I've
inside.
heard people doing that.
Wrap them up in aluminum foil and toss them in the fire.
Love it.
Oh,
I love it. Yep. We'll make foil dinners at camp a lot, where you just take potatoes, dice them up, throw some butter in there, some potatoes, whatever meat you got laying around.
Anything I can cook in a fire.
Just, roll it up in foil, toss it in the fire.
I don't know what it is, but campfire makes everything.
It tastes so much better.
Yeah, you know what? And it's cool, like, to have a little fire beside the stream, like when you're fishing or whatever. And
it's
I don't know about you guys. I do enjoy a good cigar too.
Yep.
So that is a great opportunity to smoke a cigar. When
so
right
now,
when you're fishing.
I was a snuff chewer for a great many years. I started way younger than I want to admit. Okay. So I am right now about 30 days tobacco and nicotine free. And I'm doing good now.
Good for you.
But the first week or two was rough. I was trying fake snuff. I was putting like ground up coffee grains. I was trying everything. 'Cause just that habit, you know. And so, but like with cigars when I'm fishing, I used to really like to do that. But I'm afraid if I
slippery slope.
I'll go back there. So I don't want to do that.
Well,
so
whenever I was a kid, I went with my cousin. And he would always he was much older than me, and he would always tell me, well, you can smoke a cigar while we fish.
Yeah.
Keeps the mosquitoes away.
Yeah, it does.
And me as a kid, I was like, I can smoke a cigar. And I'm sitting there like,
he's over there chumming.
Yeah. I mean, I threw my line out. It's caught in a tree. I don't even care. I'm just sitting there smoking a cigar. But it was a good time. That's some of the memories.
That's the stuff that should happen when you're out at fishing camp, or whether it's a camp or not. But that's when that stuff should happen, man.
Absolutely.
That's the connection.
That is the connection. So all right. Well, hey, thanks for staying. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around. If you've been with us from episode 1 to episode 2 and now into episode 3, all 4 or 5 of you, we appreciate it.
Yeah. And comment. Let us know if we're, you want us to do something.
Yeah.
Better.
So we now have the an email.
Yeah.
So info. At thewildconnection.com.
Yep. Yeah. So if you have,
I could put that up.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the screen.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. So
right here.
If you have a story, if you have a connection, whether it's to a fish, a harvest, a hunt, a trip that you went on with loved ones, anything like that you feel is worth sharing with other people, let us know on the email. Let us know on social media. Send us a message. Send us a smoke signal. Let us know. We'd love to have more people on here. So episode 4 and 5 are already scheduled. We have guests coming in for those episodes. We're really excited about that. And so, let us know what your connection is to the outdoors, because we'd love to chat to you. So
absolutely.
All right.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It has.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, we stayed on task. How long was that? 30 minutes? 35?